Researchers say they've found another way that AIDS attacks the body. A study reported in Science magazine suggests the deadly virus not only kills cells in the immune system, but can disrupt the system by simply disabling cells. A nonprofit consumer group says it has evidence of a possible cancer threat lurking in children's sand piles, which hasn't got anything to do with the pictures you're seeing. Public Citizen says sand sold under at least.
Jordan already suffers from medical problems. She's confined to a wheelchair. Today, Jordan did respond to doctors. She gave them a thumbs up. Well, the new owners of First Republic Bank Corporation are trying to rebuild public confidence in the state's largest bank holding company. Today, NCNB Bank took out so big enough to get the ball to Ray Alexander, who cleverly dishes it off to Darryl Clack, who stops only after reaching the end zone. Next Saturday, the Cubs will play the San Diego Chargers. In one other preseason game, the Cincinnati Bengals, with the bases loaded, and another run walks in. And then on the very next pitch, Williams hits Matt Nooks in the hand and had the Tigers made another run. There we go. And the score ending there, and the Tigers win easily 5-1. The Yankees blew away the Blue Jays.
Testing is almost complete on reactor number 1 at the South Texas Nuclear Project at Bay City. Once that unit brings electricity online full-time, CP&L customers will see higher electric bills. Ted Scouton reports on what you should plan to budget for utility bills over the next few years.
Next week, Reactor 1 should be in commercial service at the South Texas Nuclear Plant. Over the next 7 years, CP&L customers may see an 87% increase in their electric bills.
Our proposal is a 14% request the first year, and it's a 7-year phase-in proposal with about 8 to 9% request the following years.
CP&L officials say the increase will pay for the $2.2 billion they spent on the project, plus give the company an undisclosed profit. But many South Texas city officials say that's too much for anyone to pay. They say the project was only supposed to cost $750 million, and that's what they should pay back. The State Public Utilities Commission is hearing testimony from South.
This is the Valley Report at 10.
The Vice President. Good evening, everyone. The Vice President courts Hispanics in Corpus, and he blessed.
But tonight, they decided to put that all behind them and started out the season on a winning note. Steve Pallure is trying for the #1. Well, the Chargers come back to score 14 in the fourth quarter, but the Cowboys hold on to win their first preseason game 21-17. The Cowboys looked like they were going to start off the season with a big win, but the Chargers rallied to score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Quarterback for the Chargers, Babe Laufenberg, the third San Diego quarterback, throws a 15-yard winning touchdown pass to Lionel James to give the Chargers the win 24-21.
And Fergie had a little girl, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. That's our news. See you tomorrow.
George Bush is still trailing in the polls by 7% at the last count, but he's way ahead in one contest. Johnny Carson told more jokes about him than any other political candidate in the first half of this year. Bush was the target of 32 jokes, followed by Bob Dole with 18 and Pat Robertson with 17. 2 political analysts said Carson carved up Bush's record with campaign tactics and his manhood. Of the Iowa campaign, for instance, Carson said he thought Bush went too far when he stuffed straw in his overalls and started to sing, "If I Only Had a Brain." You want to hear a couple more of these?
Sure.
During Super Tuesday season, Carson said Bush was campaigning down south and went into a truck stop wearing a pair of overalls, but he had a little alligator sewn over the pocket. And of Bush's speaking ability, Carson said the last time George Bush gave a speech, someone came up and drew a chalk outline around his body. The Democratic nominee didn't make it into Carson's monologue once during the first 6 months of the year. The authors of the study say they're still waiting to see if Carson can find something funny to say about Michael Dukakis.
As Jeff would say, that Carson is a wild and wacky guy.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our overnight.
Now here's Monty Kay and the weather.
Thank you, Frank. Looks as though a rainy day. Well, here we are, singing in the rain, singing in the studio. I'm looking at the map, and it's all sorts of wet facts for today.
FBI officials are waiting for Harlingen native Ted Jeffrey Atsuki to be extradited to the United States from Mexico. He was arrested with the help of the Jalisco State Judicial Police. He allegedly shot the officer and fled the country while he was on parole. He was convicted of a 19...
That story was filed just before 13-year-old Maria Dominga Lopez was found tonight. Police say they located her in an Alamo apartment. They say she's in good shape and shows no signs of abuse. Authorities are taking statements at this time.
There are the numbers. In Brownsville, 542-8080, and in McAllen, 686-7357 for more information. And finally tonight, we have a story about a very persistent group of residents who set a good example for the adage that if you want something done...
Next up is another non-district game between two playoff teams from last year. The location is Donna, the home away from home for Weslaco. The Panthers hosting the 16-4A defending champ Bearcats at Raymondville. Weslaco trying to even their non-conference record at 2-2. Highlights from photographer Omar Cantu. First quarter, no score. Weslaco's Peter Herrera, 7 yards up the middle, touchdown, 7-0. And I tell you, was it a buggy out there? Either that or Larry James opened his wallet. I don't know what happened. Second quarter, Panther quarterback Gilbert Aguilar throws to Oscar Alvarado.
Okay. Ready?
Well, that's our Valley Report for tonight. Join Frank Sullivan tomorrow morning for the early morning Valley Report at 6:30. Good night.
Well, we're moving on now.
And I guess I'm stupid in person.
Dodgers' John Tudor in Game 3 of the World Series tomorrow night. The Dodgers' 2-0 lead in this series has to be a little surprising, even to Dodgers fans, one of which is entertainer and Channel 4 analyst Foster Brooks.
Well, I don't know how the whole series is coming out. Of course, I hope for the Los Angeles team, and I think today the first game is going to be 4-2.
Who do you think will win?
4.
Can't go wrong. Well, Tiffany's makes a lot of money every year selling crystal, silver, and china, and now it's making a little more money teaching people the right way to use their products. Tiffany's taught table manners to more than 900 adults and children, and adults, including business executives who are concerned about which fork to use at their next power lunch. I don't know about you, but the most important thing to me is that the food get from the plate to my mouth, and usually as quickly as possible, so one fork is enough. But if you need to know about world-class etiquette as defined by Tiffany's, the classes in the Houston area, for example, cost $65 for your children, $100 for the adults. Here's one free tip, though. If you're at an exclusive restaurant enjoying a big heaping bowl of menudo, the little plate with the onions is on the left, and your Coke goes on the right.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, you know, it's a power lunch, you know, big bowl of menudo anyway.
Well, you know, I don't want to see Tom Landry fired. I'd like to see him change some of his plays.
You know, I recognized everybody but that last guy. Anyway, our official Channel 4 Sports Daily Planet poll shows Landry, no, he shouldn't be fired by an 82 to 18%. Of course, the margin of error in this is plus or minus 100%. I get paid for doing this. The state highway, yeah.
Well, once again, some state lawmakers are... Well, a recent poll shows that consumers... Well, why the Super Collider is being... Well, still ahead. Say goodbye to someone... Well, 28 Texas convicts... Well, all good things must come. Well, the Super Collider is leading business. Well, still ahead will fall. Well, people in Arroyo City will have a new... Well, the college football season is winding... Well, throughout the year, the Texas special... Well, it's not the baile folklorico. Well, the Greeks are known for great... Well, the upcoming... Well, how well do you trust... Well, President-elect... Well, holiday travel... Well, still ahead. Well, in the meantime, this... Well, about a month ago... Well, when we come back... Well, Monty, I'm sure... Well, it looks like a couple of... Well, Tom, everyone... Well, still ahead. Well, stress is something... Well, I guess you could say you're...
Once there were no lawyers created in South Texas, now he says there are 4. The inaugural cruise of the liner Mistral was supposed to take off from Port Isabel this morning, but the ship hasn't arrived from Corpus Christi yet, ostensibly because of the weather. The latest word is that the first cruise is set for tomorrow, but that too depends on the weather.
Temperature statewide from 50 in El Paso to 68 in Laredo and Corpus Christi, 58 in Dallas, warming up to highs.
Thank you, Marty. It was Keith jumping into the picture a while ago. The stock market.
Pretty strange looking.
Yeah.
Yes, especially in the valley. Yeah. Take a look at our temperatures tonight in the valley. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 50s.
Don't let it bother me.
Yeah. So, is this what kind of angle is this anyway? What the hell is this, man? Is this MTV TV camera angle?
Looks fine.
Does it? All right. I feel like I ought to be like this. Well, can you see us yet?
As long as you're...
That's what he called it, yeah. As long as I'm doing what? All right.
Oh, by the way, this is the biggest trade in numbers since Texas and Seattle exchanged 11 players back in 1980. The Rangers-Yankees. Yes, I'm trying to put it all together. Bob Brower for Bobby Meacham, straight up. All right, now to...
Look at what you might see on television next fall.
Lehman says the PID board should have the required signatures wrapped up in a few weeks' time, but they still have quite a way to go before downtown Harlingen can get a facelift. Annette Cerventi, Channel 4 News, Harlingen.
For the first time since they were voted #1 in the nation this past Monday, the Fighting Illini took the court to put their #1 rating on the line, that is, and the opposition was provided by their Big Ten rivals.
Easter celebration was blessed with dry weather.
Hi, this is Annette Cerventi, and welcome to Reporters Aerobics, where you too can lose 5 pounds running through the streets of Matamoros on a 905-degree day in high heels. In streets like this. You think Jane Fonda worked you out. Try the Henry workout.
Texas A&M leads Jackson State. Texas A&M leads Jackson State 6-3. They are in the bottom of the 5th. That game going on in College Station. That's the Aggies opener in the Central Region. The director wanted to see my face. What can I say? Texas Rangers are off tonight. So is our director. They are at Minnesota over the weekend, so we'll check in on the American League East, or is that the American League Least? The top team going into tonight's action had a 500.
Well, Game 5 is over, the NBA playoffs.
And the Pistons got him.
Did you notice a sudden shift in that earthquake
We
season?
pulled you back on
I was watching her.
That's all right. I should be paying attention to. I'm sorry. Yes.
Anyway, we're talking about the Bulls and the Pistons.
Yes, and
How convenient.
That's good because that's my first page anyway. Game 5. Boy, of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Detroit. It's advantage Pistons. Game 6 is Friday night in Chicago. The Bulls.
3, 2, 1. Customs agents say they found drugs hidden in... 4, 3, 2, 1. Customs agents say they found drugs hidden in side panels. I can't think of what that thing is called.
Should be isolated showers, just about a 20% chance. Highs to the upper 90s and east to southeast winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. There we go. The forecast after that.
A Republican approach cuts off the eligibility age at 4 and relies almost entirely on tax relief. The Senate rejected that plan. A program eligibility age at 4 and relies almost entirely on tax.
You dropped it.
I got a 4, all right.
Put that thing on me.
Sign your autograph.
I got a 4.
Hang on my shirt. You just want to get on TV then. Hey, look. 2 + 2 = 4, right? Here's Annette signing her autograph for some Boy Scouts. Isn't she lovely?
He denies that he had anything to do with that operation, although he was implicated in an indictment that charged someone else. Robert?
Thank you very much, Stacy. And in other news, the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development will not give the city of Weslaco money to build a new high school football stadium.
And here he is, a little bit out of breath, but he's got all those sports for you.
I'm in great shape. Oxygen, please. We were supposed to go live to Ed Suarez at Bogus Stadium in Harlingen at this time, but we're having a few technical problems. Our crack engineering staff is at the game of the week between Harlingen and McAllen. Let's check with them to see if they've worked the bugs out. Oh, there they are now. Yes, it appears they've spotted the problem. Apparently that referee unplugged our live truck and is paying the price. I'm sure Jimmy, Juan, and Rudy will finish playing that game and get back to the technical problems. We'll check back with them a little later in the newscast. Good luck, guys. Our game of the week is McAllen at Harlingen. McAllen ranked number 5 in our poll. Harlingen number 1, but that may be changing. Highlights courtesy of photographer Mike Kokoza.
El United Way seguirá brindando la ayuda para las necesidades. That was my fault. Por el tiempo que usted lo haga posible. Yeah! That was it, I think. I don't want to do another one. I don't want to try another one.
Arkansas in the fourth quarter. Well, this is Notre Dame and Stanford. Let's go back to the scoreboard. Okay, there we go. Arkansas over TCU. Well, the sport of boxing has always enjoyed a reputation for attracting some of the toughest elements in society, and that's outside the ring. I tell you, it was a tough crowd on hand in Sacramento to watch local favorite Tony Lopez defend his IBF junior lightweight title against John Molina. Needless to say, the local fans didn't see what they wanted. Molina closed Lopez's right eye early and won every round. The referee stopped the fight and awarded the fight and the title to Molina. And that didn't sit too well with Lopez's adoring public, and the crowd began throwing beer cups and ice onto the ring, forcing police to escort both fighters and their handlers back to their dressing rooms. The disgusting spectacle gave the sport another black eye, not to mention the tremendous waste of good beer. So, tell you, what a riot out there.
Quite a fight.
Quite a riot in here sometimes.
I'll tell you, no respect around here.
A committee in Buffalo, New York, which investigates such claims, says it's extremely skeptical of the Russian story, saying they have had a number of such stories reported in Russia, all of them uncorroborated. Well, stay tuned now for Monty K and the weather. He's normal sized and has the right size head, and stocks and gold and silver prices.
3, 2, 3, 2, 1.
We're in the intensive care nursery, and we're indoors. Vominos.
But if a fertility drug works, it could help the U.S. meet its deficit for shrimp, and also from the female producing shrimp from reproducing more regularly. The shrimp should be ready for testing, the fertility drug, that is, in 5 years.
A public pummeling is set for April the 1st of next year, and it'll be in Houston.
2, 1. This could be, maybe, probably, possibly the very last Harlingen Air Show. But on the other hand, this may not be, probably, and possibly, could be, maybe, not. We've heard that there might be, probably, maybe, could be an Air Show 90 in Harlingen. But then, we don't really know. Maybe, possibly, could be. Patricia Guillermo, KGBT, Channel 4 News. I think I'm in Harlingen.
Well, Ed is here to tell us
Well, hello.
it's going to be.
That's right, he's surprised.
Just go ahead. Ed.
Okay, let's talk about football. Hey, surprise, right into your living room. Well, at least the scores keep getting closer. The Kansas City Chiefs outlasted the...
Justification served in the first...
Commissioners tabled
that matter until they get more financial data from Catalina.
Here we go. The wrestling
News, Sioux City.
The pilot of United...
Well, an American made us proud in the British Open today. Is that right?
That's right. As a matter of fact, they made us proud also in the Tour de France in Paris, but it didn't work as well for West Germany. In West Germany, obviously.
Tell us about it.
All right, if you can hear it.
But when I think back to 11 or 12 years ago when I first came here, we couldn't say "God damn it" on the stage.
Well, you can't say it on television either. Thank you very much. I'll be back in just a minute.
I thought you were...
can see behind me, this is the crime scene, and it's also a theory that's been proven now by actual physical evidence. If you'll just come down with me. This right here is the outline of the victim, and as we've known all along, you'll notice these are the legs, these are the feet. Here's the midsection, there's the arms, and as we thought all along, Neo's head is really in his behind. So, there you go.
Then they came back to no, we may just take over for a year or two. You know she's going to need medical care.
One judge.
Is just in case.
Not a good time for it.
Not a good time.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Time to check our News 4 money list for the names of some, well, time to put on my microphone too, for the names of some Valley people and businesses who have money or assets in the state treasury. Tonight.
And apparently we're having some technical difficulties. We're wanting to go to weather just now, but I guess not. Our final story tonight is a marriage of a very unusual kind. And these endangered white rhinos, Bonnie and Shorty, got hitched. That is not white rhinos, that is the Pope, and apparently we are having some problems in the back, so we apologize for that. Irma, can you give us a little idea of what we can look for our weather?
Sure can, Carrie. For the remainder of this evening, we can expect to see clear and cool conditions in deep South Texas.
Is that report from today's proceedings in this live report from Houston, Texas. Irma.
Trying to get my mic on here, but let me tell you, as we told you at 5 o'clock, the prosecutor surprised everyone.
And how to call 911. Well, charges are pending against a Raymondville man who was in a 4-hour standoff with police yesterday afternoon. Raul Lopez Marroquin barricaded himself in his house and, according to police, threatened to blow it up by igniting a gas line. Authorities say a domestic dispute started the incident in the 300 block of Ituria Street near downtown Raymondville.
No arrests have been made.
A huge explosion and fireball in western Pennsylvania today.
L&F Distributors, Bush Beer, head for the mountains.
Rise. Rise.
Rise. Rise.
I think Richard Moore should find that frog myself, but hundreds of thousands of ducks.
Ben Trevino joins us now to look at some of the stories coming up at 6 o'clock. Ben.
Good afternoon, Barbara. Coming up on News 4 at 6 o'clock, Brownsville school trustees have approved the installation of security.
In fact, many of them were pleased. We spoke with some of them, and here's what they had to say. We'll try to have that for you a little bit later. The punishment phase begins tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Well, you got to admit, it's pretty nervous for you to come out here, in front of the hometown crowd. It is a heavyweight championship. But you got to admit, it's pro wrestling. It's not that real. You got to admit, it's kind of fake.
It's not real. I'll show you real, John.
Got him just where I want him. Oh, God. Gary, Jim, no problem. Back to you.
Never let it be said that John King won't do anything for ratings.
I told you he was going to do something neat at the end, but I didn't know it was going to be that.
Boy, it sounds like he got the wind knocked out of him.
I wonder if he'll be here at 10.
Well, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Well, I tell the kids, this is what high school football is all about. It comes down to the last ball game, and it's everything we've worked for in a lifetime to remember. And these seniors, you tell them this may be the last game that you ever get to play, and very possibly the last game you play in this stadium. So you got to play every play like it's the last play you're going to ever play in football, because if you don't, it may be.
For Donna and Harlingen South football, Friday night's game will answer the questions surrounding their playoff future. Two teams on the horizon of the postseason, both needing a win to ensure they will be playing football next week.
We keep telling them, hey, if we don't take care of business, hey, we're going to be sitting home during the playoffs. So this is what you work for, and we're in a situation where we can do some good out of it.
There is hope for each team if they were to lose on Friday. Should Harlingen beat San Benito on that same night, both teams would survive for yet another week. But neither team wants to put their playoff future into the hands of another, knowing they control their own destiny.
We don't want to depend on anyone for the playoffs. We want to make it on our own. If it comes out that we come out not victorious, sure, we'd like for San Benito to lose, but we're not going to depend on that. Like I said, we're going to play our hearts out and get a victory here.
Just want to win. We don't want to depend on anybody, because sometimes the ball don't bounce your way, But we just want to go out there and give it our best shot. Hopefully we can come out on top.
But what does their destiny hold? Who will win on Friday night? Well, we asked someone who knows the future that very question. Mr. Teller, you got to tell me, who's going to win on Friday between Donna and Harlingen South?
That's very easy. The cards tell me.
So who's going to win? Tell me, who's going to win, huh?
I see. The cards tell me the winner will be...
We are temporarily experiencing video difficulty. Please stand by.
So you heard it here first. Another News 4 exclusive. We're glad we could be of service.
Hey, dude, you owe me $20.
This is John King, News 4 Sports.
Hey!
All right, hey, Mark, what they saw today, but not enough to spoil their day. We're going to continue to see lots and lots of sunshine, it looks like, and I don't know what that was. Temperatures across the U.S. a little on the cool side.